Thank you for inviting me to be here today. It's a wonderful opportunity. Thank you to Gordon. Gordon and I served on the regional board for many years, and then our paths went in separate directions, so it's been a while since I've last seen him, so it's a thrill to be with him today and with all of you. And I love what you say in your core value, that last word. What is it? Fun, yeah, because we want to have fun, right? That's the important thing. And in this stressful time that we're in right now, in one way or another, you come up with your own reasons why there's stress. It's wonderful to remember the most important thing is to have fun, to stay buoyant and lighthearted, right, no matter what, because that's how we overcome things. You're staying way too quiet. I like to have some energy here. Yeah, all right, good. So our theme is how to be, and what it means to be present to what is. And sometimes it's hard, isn't it, to be present to what is. Why? We get distracted by both outer things and inner things. Have you ever done a meditation where somebody tells you you can do anything you want in meditation, just don't think about monkeys? And guess what? All you can think about is monkeys. It's so easy for the brain to get distracted, right? And from one way or the other. Another thing is, I think, is the idea of having to be in the now. Now, I know we talk a lot about this in Unity, about being in the now, but I think it can be a problem, actually, because it's all started maybe with Eckhart Tolle, right, with the power of now, and then before that, it was, remember Ram Dass, Be Here Now, back in the late 60s, early 70s. It's a lovely idea. It's like the monkeys again. You know, I just want you to be in the now. Oh, great. I'm everywhere else but the now, right? So what is now anyway? Charles Fillmore said, famously, said, there is no time or space to spirit, which is a powerful statement, right? There's no time or space to spirit. Now, if that's true, there is no past, there is no future, and there is no present. There is no now, right? So, whoops, we got a problem. So what's left? And I'm going to just throw that out at you, and we'll come back to it in a minute. What is left after we give up the past, the present, and the future in truth? Now, I know that is a relative thing called the past, present, and future, but in spirit there isn't. In the truth of our being, in the reality of who we are, and the possibility of who we are greater than time. And the quantum physics would say they agree with that, because if you study quantum mechanics, quantum physics, it's fabulous. How many people are fairly familiar with a little bit of quantum physics? Yeah, it's fascinating stuff, isn't it? Because now they're telling us, as Charles Fillmore said, there is no actual thing called time, right? There is no linear past, present, or future. Things don't happen in that way in the world of quantum mechanics. And it's not just happening in the world of tiny, it's happening in the world of the universe. Everything is different to what we think it is, right? It is much more wonderful, actually, than what we think it is. And what quantum mechanics is telling us is that we are more like events than we are beings, like physical beings. We're more events moving through space-time. We are more tendencies to be something. So how do you like that? You are now a tendency. Is that okay with you? You are an event, a tendency, rather than a thing itself. Now, the good news about that, being an event and a tendency, is means you can't be pinned down, right? You can be a particle or you can be a wave, depending on how you woke up this morning. Oh my God, I feel like a particle today. Come on, be a wave. Go for it. The truth is, you have the tendency to be both of these things if you would like to be, right? And so the world is much more fascinating. And when it comes to the present, I've been reading a guy named Carlo Rovelli. He's a wonderful physicist. His specialty is quantum gravity. But he's written all these fairly popular books that I can sort of get my head around. I can't do the formula thing, but he makes it available to me. And he says that, that the present doesn't really exist. in the sense that there is no now that's universal. What's now for you is different from what's now for me, right? We're all seeing this differently, right? Everybody has a different perception of what's going on right now. Hopefully we're all paying attention to me, but that's the commonality. But even that's not a guarantee. We may be spacing out, we may be saying, I bought a wonderful dish for potluck today. It's going to be lovely. I wonder what other people are. Bro, you're supposed to be listening to me. And what's present for me here is very different, and what's now is very different from somebody in another time zone or in another continent or in another planet, right? Very different ways that the now shows up. And so it can get kind of confusing, can't it? What is now? Where am I? What the heck's going on? Why is this guy telling me all these strange things? I'm supposed to be comforted. But here's the brilliant thing, right? We are greater than the seeming straitjacket of having to be in the now, right? And the reason for that is there's more going on. There's much more wonderful things happening. And that brings me back to the question earlier. When there's no time or space, when there's no past, present, and future, what's left? What's there? Shout it out. No, get rid of now. There's no now either. With no past, present, yes. Somebody said spirit. There's presence, right? There's all the things that we talk about, all the names we give to God or to this thing, this great big we don't know what, which you cannot name, right? It just simply is. It's the reality of our being, and it's beyond time or space. It's not limited to those things, and this is the wonderful good news, because when we enter into that consciousness, then we are free, right? And guess what? It's natural. It's who we are. Unfortunately, since we were about 1 year old, we've been taught to think in what? Linear time, haven't we? Oh, I got one open. Hey, I'm in Unity, I can have more than one. Abundant universe, I get 2 bottles of water. We've been taught to condition ourselves to 3-dimensional reality, to past, present, and future, instead of realizing that we are totally limitless, right? Now imagine if you woke up right now and to your total limitlessness. Would you start flying, do you think? Would you start giggling? That's why I love the giggling gurus, because the giggling gurus have found out the truth, that they're not limited anymore and they can't stop laughing about it. So they're having a good time. They're having F-U-N. Core value. So we should all be giggling gurus right now, having a good time. Well, we don't want to be too giggling, because then people already think Unity people are a little strange, you know. Oh God, they've gone giggling now. Every year in our church in Fort Worth, we used to have the, people always saying there's weird things happening in Unity Church. And we'd have the burning bowl. You probably have it here, right? The burning bowl ceremony. So one day, the big sign outside, the bee fell off. The second bee, the burning owl. And people thought, yeah, typical. This is what's happening at Unity. And then one year, one of our members, trying to be clever, he found an E, and he put it in there, and it was a burning bowel. This stuff is natural. It's who we are, right? That's the thing. But it's so simple and so there. It's hidden beneath our noses that we don't recognize it. We don't recognize how natural and beautiful it is. And so we have to, as the Sufis say, learn to unlearn, right? We've learned too much that hides us from our truth. We've imprisoned that glorious, we've hidden that imprisoned splendor. That's the phrase, isn't it? The imprisoned splendor that's within us. In Dogshen, Tibetan Buddhism, right, they talk about natural great perfection. That's who you are. I am, let's say it right now. I am natural great perfection. Together, I am natural great perfection. And I don't have to be perfect to be that because it's already been taken care of it by Spirit. Spirit can be perfect. I don't have to be. I just have to align myself with my reality, right? So that's another danger, I think, as well as trying to be in the now. We're trying to be perfect all the time. We're trying to perfect ourselves and never go wrong and all that. Have you ever done that? It's crazy making, isn't it? Just take a load off. See, this is the key. It's taking a load off and not worrying so much about having to be perfect, having to be right, and simply aligning with the Spirit. That's the welcoming prayer again. Giving up resistance, giving up trying to fix everything, and relaxing into the natural beauty that we are on any given day. Zen talks about being ordinary and marvelous. I kind of like that too. Being ordinary and marvelous. Lovely combination, isn't it? Hindu gurus, like we just said, have a good time with this too, this naturalness, this effortlessness. And so the invitation today, folks, is to take a load off. Whatever load you brought in with you or be holding on for a while or whatever it is, just take that load off. It's not necessary. The world's not going to go away. You're not going to self-destruct because you're not holding that load. It's all going to be okay. You know, we can take a load off. Stop trying to be in the now. Stop trying to get it all right. Stop trying to fix things, right? And simply relax. Stop trying to be anything or anyone. Just be naturally you. You are more you than you'll ever be, right? In truth, we just hide ourselves from our own truth. So, let's get back to now. When we can be in this natural presence of just relaxing into our truth, then we can become aware of what's going on without worrying about it. So, if I'm lost in the past, it's okay. Be aware. Ooh, look, right now, I am lost in the past. If you're dreaming about the future, don't beat up on yourself, I should be in the now. No, right now, you are dreaming about the future. Be present to that, yeah? Are you dazed and confused? Because you've been listening to too much Led Zeppelin lately. That's okay too. Be dazed and confused. Oh, it's a dazed and confused day. It's all right. I can relax into that. So whatever it is, it's okay. Because what's happening? What am I bringing to every moment? What am I bringing? Spirit. Acceptance, spirit, awareness. Those are that thing, that awareness is more important than where I am at any given time, right? So I can be lost, I can be dazed, I can be confused, I can be upset, I can be overwhelmed, but the fact that I can be okay with that and allow it to be frees me. I've got to share a story. Some of the worst things that have ever happened to me, when I can honestly look at them, they become my greatest gifts. Have you ever had this? When I totally lost it and I recognize I've lost it, then I found it. Because I found myself, I found my awareness, I found spirit in the midst of that terrible thing. And it didn't happen because I made it all right, and therefore I could be happy again. No, it happened right in the middle of the sadness, right in the middle of the pain. Because I am greater, the spirit within me is greater than any force, energy, situation, tendency, or event in the world. See, then we are greater than events and tendencies, right? Are we going okay so far? As we build to the... Yeah, okay, good. This is the glorious climax now, folks. But seriously, if you can remember something today, it's who is aware is the key. If I remember that spirit is aware, even in the times when I screw up completely, then I'm home free. Because it's not about all the things I do, it's who I choose to be, to remember to be that natural, beautiful person, or not even person, that beautiful entity that is always free. It's owning it, isn't it? It's celebrating it. It's as Thomas Keating, do you like that prayer, by the way, that have you come across that before? I love that prayer. Thomas Keating was was a Benedictine monk, a mystic, and I've loved that prayer. It dropped into my life as some things do, right? They just show up. I was down in the Church of Conscious Harmony in Austin, Texas, and they had a little card with that prayer on it, and it just blew me apart because it was so counterintuitive that I should let go of everything like that. No, I got to hold on to everything. And it was just lovely to let go of the things you think you have to fix and control and simply welcome the power of Spirit moving in and through you. So what does it mean to be present to what is? It simply means relaxing into the natural, effortless beauty that you are every day. And so it is. Amen. Thank you.